All right, guys, it's finally here. Today is the first day of the 2019 Stanley Cup Finals. The St. Louis Blues versus the Boston Bruins. This is going to be a really interesting finals. I guess it's pretty hard to say who's going to win this. These two teams are really evenly matched. I have a strong feeling when it comes to like my brain who I think's going to win, just because I just have like a strong, just automatic like impulse like feeling of who's gonna win, but who knows with how these teams are. These teams have been really great this entire postseason. They've just dominated everyone, and who knows who's gonna win this. But first, I'd like to recap a little bit of the conference finals because I haven't done that yet. So San Jose and St. Louis. This was a weird series. A lot of controversy around it. There was that hand pass no call thing, and that pretty much from there, like everyone was really mad, and I couldn't stand it because everyone just kept saying they would not stop talking like, oh, Sharks, like it's the refs versus the Blues, and they'd just make stupid jokes about that, and it was nonstop, and I was getting so sick of it. I mean, honestly, we don't know. Like, the Sharks still could have won that game. Like, it doesn't. But people acted like the Blues would have won if that hadn't happened, or like something like that. It got really annoying after a while because people were just saying that, and I'm like, I don't know. I got really annoyed, and so obviously I was rooting for San Jose in that series. I just like I like San Jose, but because of that. It just kind of like took away from the excitement I had like going with them in the series, just because it felt like, oh, if they're gonna win this, and then if they win the Stanley Cup, everyone's just gonna give them shit anyways. I'm like, that just kind of sucks. Because I don't know, because everyone would just say like, oh, like the refs helped them win the Stanley Cup. I don't know. I just got kind of annoyed at that whole thing. But I was rooting for the Sharks, but. Then, like, just more as the series went on, I was like, I don't really care. Like, I mean, after that whole controversy thing, I'm just like, oh, who cares? Whatever. I don't know. Like, as long as the Bruins don't win the Stanley Cup. So that's pretty much all I cared about. I didn't really care who won the Blues and Sharks series after a while. Obviously, the Blues took over after that one controversial call. And the Blues won the series. And I have to say, I thought it was pretty cool seeing the Blues win it. Like, it's kind of weird because I feel like I don't know, like I really like I didn't want them to win at the beginning of the series, but then when I actually like kind of saw how it all went, I'm like, wow, it's kind of cool. Like it's been a while. These fans, they've had a long drought, and it was like, oh, it's just kind of cool. So the Blues they obviously won the Western Conference Finals, and it was pretty cool to see. I guess like just to see like a team that hasn't been there in like a long time make it. Like that's just kind of cool to see. Even though I was kind of like sad that the Sharks didn't make it. Although if I feel like if the Sharks made it to the Stanley Cup Finals, I feel like they wouldn't have as good of a chance as if St. Louis, which they are, like as if St. Louis would have, because St. Louis is like really healthy right now. Like they're like good on all that, and San Jose is not healthy. They had a lot of injuries, and they were like really beaten up through just the whole series in general. I don't know. I just feel like Boston would have just taken advantage of that. But I feel like with the Blues, it's like there's more like it's a little more evenly matched now. It's just like because like they're two healthy teams and all that. So yeah. Anyways, the Blues won. I wasn't that annoyed. It was kind of cool seeing, and the whole Gloria thing wasn't bad. And then the Hurricanes Bruins series, I wanted the Hurricanes to win this so bad. Like this was the one series where like I wanted one team to lose so badly. I wanted the Bruins to lose so bad, and I was really upset that the Hurricanes got swept, because I've been following them like a lot of the season. I've just been keeping up with the team just because it's just really cool seeing how much they've like they've made such a big comeback with their team this year after like the long playoff drought they had, and it's just I thought that was just really cool seeing them go this far. Still an incredible playoff run, but it just sucks that they just kind of went out like that. They didn't really have a chance. Although I wasn't really surprised. I mean, I knew Boston was just gonna kill them. Like it's Boston. God damn, Boston just keeps winning on championships. It pisses me off, but Boston just ruined their hopes and dreams, and I feel like they're going to do that with St. Louis, but who knows? So yeah, obviously now my prediction, as I just pretty much spoiled it, I mean, it doesn't really matter. You guys probably already knew anyways. Yeah, I think the Bruins are going to win the Stanley Cup. Yeah, I think it's just like a pretty obvious prediction. Like, it makes sense that the Bruins would win. They've only won this in recent times, and it feels like they should. Like, it feels like the Bruins have won more Stanley Cups like in recent times. But if you think about it, they only won the one in 2011 against Vancouver, so it's like, huh. But I feel like the Bruins are just gonna take it out of the park. It's just the Bruins. I don't know. It's just like there's just certain feeling I just have. It's just like this instinct feeling where like with every Boston team, oh, they're gonna win, because they pretty much always do. And the Patriots just ruin all hopes and dreams of every team. They just kill everyone. They always win, and it's probably gonna happen with the Bruins. I can just hear that goddamn goal horn just going off, and then the Kerncraft song just I can already hear it in my brain. It's just in my brain, and I hate it. Like, everyone hates the Bruins, and everyone is cheering for St. Louis unless you're a Boston fan. Unless you live in Boston. I mean, I know there's some people that like support the Bruins, like that don't live in Boston. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that pretty much everyone's rooting for St. Louis. And I really hope they can pull it off. I think they deserve it. They've played really good this entire postseason. They've really made a comeback as a team. And I really hope they can win. I just don't want Boston to win, most importantly though. And like I don't even like the Blues that much either. I'm starting to like them in like the playoffs now because of this whole thing they did, and they're facing Boston. I'm rooting for them. I kind of like them now, but like before all this, I never liked the Blues really. Although I didn't really mind them that much. I preferred them over the Stars like by like miles. But I just didn't like them that much. But they weren't like terrible for me. I mean, I'm a Wild fan, so I'm not gonna like the Blues. But anyways, I really hope the Blues can win. But it's gonna be Boston. I'm just saying it right now. It's gonna be Boston. But it's interesting because when I made my prediction video at the start of the playoffs, I had the finals, the Blues versus the Lightning, and look where we are. The Blues made it. That's the only thing that actually worked in my bracket. Everything else just went to shit. But I want to stay loyal to the Blues, but I just can't because it's just Boston. They ruin everything. So I'm gonna go with Boston. So I mean, if Boston wins, then hey, at least I predicted it right this time. If St. Louis wins, then I mean it kind of. Well, what does suck about it? I mean, even though it doesn't matter at all, but I mean, I should have stayed loyal with them, but that's not going to matter because Boston loses, and it would be one of the best experiences ever just seeing Boston lose the Stanley Cup again. That'd be great. But yeah, and I mean. Even after round one, I pretty much predicted this matchup. Or no, wait, was it round one? No, I think it was round two. Or no, wait, no, it might have been after round one. After round one, I'm pretty sure I predicted it would be the Blues and the Bruins. It could have been after round two, but I don't know. I think it was after round one. I made a prediction. I was like, yeah, if how everything's gonna go, it's probably gonna be the Blues and the Bruins. But another thing of it was probably after round two. I don't care. But bottom line is that I still saw this coming, during the playoffs, kind of I can just see it coming. So yeah, and I think if the Lightning hadn't been eliminated right away, I think I would have picked the Bruins too. I think I would have picked they were my second one after them anyways. I would have picked them, but obviously the Lightning choked, so that was pretty funny. Oh, jeez. So yeah, I really hope the Blues can win. Go Blues. I'm rooting for the Blues. This cup starts in an hour, and I'm pretty damn excited. This is going to be a good series, I think. So yeah, see ya.